Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Baby Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. It's been a decent day here. I hadn't done much, but it's Monday. Who cares? Who cares what you did Monday? What'd I do the weekend? I did a little clearing out of some stuff and donated some stuff to Goodwill. And I crocheted a little, but not a whole lot. Not as much as I would have liked to, because the heat. I've put aside the duster for a little while. I will get back to it. And today I decided to, you guessed it, start a new whip. Maggie, come on. Come on, Maggie. Come on. Oh, let's see if I can get her up here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Jump. Say hello. Say hello, Mags. Hello, Maggie. She's being goofy. Anyway, she wants up here, but then she just didn't really want to make the effort. And then she takes her toy and runs off. I love that girl. She's my greatest comfort these days. Oh, Lord. Now I did a members only video yesterday, and then I had teased a story and completely forgot to finish telling it. So I will finish telling it today. So Saturday, when we went to the Goodwill, I had been wearing my very large 5X Joe Bonamassa t-shirt. It has like a silhouette of Joe Bonamassa, and then along the side it has his last name, Bonamassa, written on the side. Well, when I know pretty much everybody knows that Goodwill Industries, thrift stores, they employ special needs adults. Okay, and so I went to donate 2 bags of my fat clothes that I no longer need, and I donated some old computer monitors that still worked that I don't need. And so I went to donate those items, and when we pulled up, there was this young man named Corey, and very tall, strapping young man. I'd say he's probably in his late 20s, early 30s, somewhere in that neighborhood, and obviously a special needs person. I couldn't tell you what his diagnosis was. I'm thinking he's probably on the spectrum. Autism, I would say, is probably right up there. But he didn't say hello, didn't, the first thing out of his mouth was to point at my shirt and say, he's coming in November, right? To the municipal. And I just grinned from ear to ear, because finding another Joe Bonamassa fan in town is like finding Waldo in one of those pictures. You know what I mean? It's rare, okay? It's just, he's not, incredibly popular in certain areas, and I was like, yeah, I do know. And so the next thing I know, me and Corey are geeking out over Joe Bonamassa facts, and dude knew more than me. He said, do you know that at age 13 he opened for B.B. King? And I said, yes, I did know that. And he's like, do you know that his collection's almost up to 600 guitars? And I was like, no, I didn't know that. And then he rattled off all this, and he says, and Blues Deluxe 1 and 2, life-changing albums of Joe Bonamassa. And he's like, he named off this one song, the Ballad of John Henry, and this one of his most popular songs. And I was like, have you seen the YouTube video of him playing the Ballad of John Henry with Eric Gales, which is another blues musician? And he's like, no, but now I have to go look at it. But it was just like, we're just totally, completely, he as he was talking, we gave him the stuff that I was donating. And but we're just totally geeking out for a good 15 minutes about Joe Bonamassa. And it was just so refreshing to talk to someone else who was equally, you know, into the same musician as me. And he was just so wonderful. Someone has taken really good care of this young man and really nurtured him and allowed him his love of the music, and he, you know, and just allowed him to be who he is. And I told Johnny after we left, you know what? I really do plan on going to that concert. I'm hoping to save the money and go, but I have been kind of hesitant on buying the tickets because I didn't know who I was going to take. It keeps changing. Who I'm going to take keeps changing, and so I told Johnny, I said, you know what would thrill the fool out of me? If I could go to the concert with Corey. Because I told him, I said, well, you know he was here in 2023. And he said, yeah. He said a friend of mine went and took a video and showed me the video. Meaning he didn't get to go. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't he get to go? He should have got to go to that concert. And my mind has just been, you know, just constant, you know, I keep going back to that conversation with him, and my mind just keeps going back that I need to take Corey to that concert. I need to go back and switch numbers with him, you know, exchange numbers with him, and take Corey to that concert. Because I think if anyone, you know, I just think it would bring me joy to see him so excited. You know, because he would be absolutely beside himself to go to that concert. I can just see it. I can envision it, that he would just be over the moon to get to go to that concert, and to see it through his childlike happiness, you know, would be my happiness. You know what I mean? So I might have to go back to the Goodwill store and get and see and check and see if that's even a possibility, to connect with his people, whoever his people are, and see if I could set something like that up, because that young man deserves to get to go to that concert more than me, because he's a super fan. I mean, he knew so much about Joe Bonamassa and albums and songs and the whole 9 yards. I was so impressed by his vast knowledge, and it just it made my whole day to run into him and to have that conversation with him and that connection with him. And I was like, you know what? I really want to take him to the concert. You know, because I just know that he would geek out, and he would just, because he's a guitar nerd on top of it, and he would just have such a great time. You know, the concerts usually, I know when we went in 2023, it was only about 2 hours long, and it was just fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, y'all give me your feedback if I'm out of line by thinking of going back and connecting with him and doing that. But I just think that would just be absolutely amazing to take that young man to that concert. I really do. I think it would be amazing to do that. And I know I don't know him, but his joy would just bring me joy. You know what I mean? And I just think it would be the best thing to do, the right thing to do, you know, especially since he didn't get to go see him last time. And that was the first thing out of his mouth when he saw my shirt was, you know, he's coming in November. And I was like, oh, yes, I do. I know he's coming. And it's just, you know, I just want to take him. You know, I just want to take him. And I just think that would be so cool. Let him get dressed up, me get dressed up, and just go to the concert and just have a grand old time, you know. I think I might try to do that. I might try to go back to the store maybe this coming weekend, since he probably works on weekends, and try to go about the same time as I went this time, and see if I can't maybe exchange numbers with him and keep in touch, and then see if we can make that happen, because that would be fun. That would be really fun. And I can't think of a better concert going buddy than a super fan like him. I really can't. I can't think of a single soul that would enjoy it as much or more than him. After meeting him and spending time with him, I can't imagine anyone enjoying it more than me and him. I really can't. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go back and see if I can connect with him and do that, because I think it'd be a heck of a time. I really do. I think he would never forget it. Never. And I wouldn't either. So, yeah, I'm going to see if I can connect with him and his people, maybe his parents or whoever he stays with that oversees his care. Because Johnny doesn't like crowded and loud places, so Johnny's out. So, but Corey, if he's okay with loud and crowded places, then I think taking him to the concert would be a good thing to do. But I go and find out more information about him and his condition and see if that's a possibility. Because if it is, I'm doing it. Doing it. Let me tell you. Because that would be amazing. He was a tall, strapping man, you know. And then it just turned into a complete geek when you start talking about blues music. Turned into a complete geek. It was the best thing, I tell you. After everything that's happened lately, that, you know, all the dark and crazy things that are going on in our world today, to run into someone like that and to have that interaction and be so positive and wonderful, you know, that set the whole tone for the weekend, and it being so good. And I was able to go through some things in the living room and get rid of some old junk and, you know, just kind of do some clearing out. So that's what I did pretty much the weekend, is I did some clearing out of old stuff, got rid of an old desktop computer, and you know, threw some other stuff away that needed to be thrown away. And I actually was going through totes, because I'm going to be destashing my yarn, like severely destashing yarn. And so I was going through and trying to put away the box that I got from Cheryl not too long ago, and I ran into this cotton sprout that she sent me, and I didn't realize that she had sent me 2 3-packs of the same color. And I was like, ooh, I could remake that tank top with this yarn. And it's such a similar color to the other color, only this one doesn't have the brown in it. So it's very similar. I mean, here's the tank top. Look how similar that is. Very similar, only this doesn't have brown in it. So it'll be similar. And this is 4 weight. It even though the label here says recommends a 5mm hook, but I can tell you, I've worked a few rows now, and I'll show y'all. I've worked this is where I'm at. I literally just started it a little while ago. I keep getting distracted with things, but I have 6 packs in each skein. I mean, I have 6 of these, and each skein is 153 yards. Now, I did the other top with about 700 yards or 700 and something yards. I only used 3 skeins, and those skeins have 200 and something yards each. And I only used not even 3 full skeins. I had a significant scrap ball left. Yeah, I had that ball there left. So, what are you doing, Miss Lady? We don't eat doorways. That's not tasty. That's dusty. Don't eat the doorway. For Pete's sake. Sorry. The things you have to say to your dog. But I'm going to do that idea that I talked about when I made the last tank top. I'm going to do the same stitch count and the same row count, but when I did I'm going to do both panels exactly the same and do that decrease that makes the top part on the panel. I'm going to do it on both. And then on the straps, on the strap part, instead of making like, you know, starting the strap and making it all the way up and over, I'm not going to do it like that, because I don't care for it that way. But what I'm going to do, because this was 31 rows here, 31 rows for each strap, which ended up being just a tad bit too long. My shoulders are not very big, so I'm gonna do like maybe 1 or 2. I might do like 28 rows instead, but I'm gonna do like 14 on this side and 14 on this side, and then sew them up at the top. and have it. I think that's the better way to go, and just have a seam at the top of my shoulder here, where I sewed the little straps together. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that will come out better, and just do 14 rows from this side, from one side panel, and then 14 rows from the front panel, and then just seam them up at the top. I think that's my course of action on this. And I'm going to do the decrease deal that gave me the front panel. I'm going to do that on both sides this time, so that when I go to seam it up, it will, seam up properly and not have that gappy business going on. And because as this stands, I'm going to have to wear another tiny tank top underneath it, just to cover the side boob. I don't know any other more politically correct way to say that, but there's side boob going on. And even though my chi-chis aren't as big as they were before the weight loss, I still have some. And we're not trying to show them off at almost 52 years old. No, my showing off of the chi-chis is over with. Now, I do know that there are older women out there that are, shaking what their mama gave them, but I'm not one of those women. That's not my style. My style is, conservative. Somewhat conservative. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm going to try this tank top and see how this goes, since I have enough of this yarn. And I do absolutely love these colors. Look at that chartreuse. Look at that green and the blue. And oh, it's so pretty. And then there's a lilac in here too. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I can't wait to see how this works up. So, thank you, Cheryl. Yep, thank you. I come across it as I was, going through, and because I was trying to gather all my big twist yarn, my big twist value yarn that I have. I found that I have 31 skeins, and most of it is that ombre, big twist ombre. I have several of that, and I'm decided to part with. I'm keeping some of my Joanne yarn. I'm keeping my party yarn and my vortex yarn, and I want to say there was one other. There might have been another one. Oh, the menagerie yarn. Yeah, the menagerie yarn. I'm keeping those three, kinds of yarn by them, but I'm kind of getting rid of the rest because I just have too much yarn. Because for me anyway, I'm running out of space. So that's why I've been, looking at downsizing my yarn stash, because it's just a little bit, we need room to move in here. And so, yeah, I'm just going to be getting downsizing. And so that big twist yarn will be for sale. It is for sale. Now, I do have an interested party that is waiting on payday, so it just depends. But, yeah, that's 31 skeins. And most of it is the ombre. There's some of that splash. There's a red and a blue of that that one yarn that they had. You know what? Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm back. All right, it was in the next room, so I just went to get it. But I got 4 of this one. And this is, it's a sapphire color. Pool Time. I got 4 of this Pool Time one. And Cherry Mix. I got 4 of this one. I got 6 of this pink one. I got 2 of this, I think this is mustard. Yeah, mustard. I got 2 of this mustard. This one is Sunrise Ombre. I got 4 of this one. Aqua Ombre, and I got 4 of this one. I got two of this blue ombre. And purple ombre, I have 4. And And then I got this one big red one, which has like, how many yards is this? 1,093 of this, what is this? Deep red, which was one of my favorites anyway. But it's not a yarn that I reached for anyway. I've had these ombre ones for probably a year and a half and hadn't reached for them, hadn't touched them. So I figured it was time to part with it. So just, if you're interested, just email me. I could probably, I'm pretty good at packing those mailer bags. I could probably fit all of this in a mailer bag, and I can do, a deal for all of it. Now, if no one buys it from me by the 9th, then I have a buyer already lined up for the 9th. So that's my deadline for anybody else that might be interested in it. But there will be some other yarn offerings. I just haven't finished going through my totes. I have several, but I keep getting side interest, side things going on. So I keep getting sidetracked. But I'm having fun, I guess. Interesting things going on and having a little fun. And I did want to show y'all something else that I found while I was cleaning and going through stuff. Now, I hope I can show these to you and y'all can get a good look at them. These are some pictures that I found from 2005 of me and the boys. Mind you, they were like 12 and 6 at the time, or somewhere in there. That's approximately their ages. But this is William. Let's see, I'll bring it close so you can see. This is William. He's hanging out on the top of my green Ford Taurus that I had at the time. I had a 1995 forest green Ford Taurus. And that's William in his little 12 awkward childness, looking so cute. And this is the three of us. Yes, I had blonde hair once upon a time. So, yep, that's me and the boys. Will looks like he's about to sneeze in this picture, and Johnny is just smiling so cute. There's that one. I think the sun was in my eyes. And here's another one. There's Johnny grinning. Johnny was only 6. But, yep, that's us from 2005. Yep, went to the Wayback Machine and found that. Oh, good times, good times. Yep, it's back when I was keeping my hair that particular shade of blonde. And that's actually the same shade of blonde that Will has naturally. So that's Will's natural hair color. And yep, that's still his hair color. He doesn't dye his hair like his mom. But yeah, that was 31-year-old me. Anyhow, well, that's about all I got for y'all today. I just want to come on and visit with you a minute and tell you what I was up to and show you those pictures and finish telling the story about the Big Bottom Asha shirt and my encounter with Corey. And I hope y'all enjoyed hearing about that. It certainly was an awesome thing for me. Anytime I run into a fellow Joe Bonamassa fan, it's always a good thing. And I do plan on doing the concert thing. I am going to go back by there and see about taking Corey. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm going to check into it anyway because I think it would be wonderful. Y'all can tell me in the comments if you think it's a bad idea, but I think it's a good idea. Because I had been kind of debating on if I was even going to go because I didn't have anyone to go with. And maybe that's what the good Lord was doing, was putting someone in my path that I should be taking to the concert. Who knows? That might have been why I felt the need to go to Goodwill right then and there. Because certainly that stuff could have waited to go to Goodwill instead of on a Saturday afternoon. But nope, I had to go right then and there. I just got a bug in my butt and had to go right then and there. So, that's how that happens sometimes. But I hope y'all are keeping cool if you're in a hot climate like me. I got my slushie. Today's flavor is peach. is yummy. Yes, yummy. I like the slushies. And the staff up there at the local Sonic is starting to get a little too familiar with my face. Well, they're half price between, what, 2 and 4 or whatever it is. And then I've discovered if you use the Sonic app, there's a little coupon that it just keeps letting me use that gets them half price. So yes, please, I will keep doing it and getting them half price. Hey, I'm always apt for a coupon, be it for yarn or slushies. Why pay full price if you can get a coupon, right? Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Please know that I love you and so does Jesus. And of course, remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting on you at the shelter or the rescue. And I'll see y'all soon. Bye.